Let's take a look at how to save the files that we create in Silhouette Studio. We did run through creating files in the last video, and if you watched the video and followed along, you should be pretty good at creating your own designs already. But we are going to go through and create this file. It's a 3D file for a flip-flop. Super cute. I'm absolutely in love with it. Hi, I'm Brenda Lambert. I'm a TJC licensed instructor for Silhouette. You found your way to Silhouette success, and I do hope that you're going to join our little community. We would absolutely love to have you. Now, once you have your files saved, you can share them either with your crafty friends or to a shop like Etsy and sell them for a little bit of profit. Now, I am not saying you're going to get rich quick. This is a little bit of work, but I have to say that with minimal effort, I was able to purchase the Curio2 and the Portrait 4 with my earnings from my Etsy shop. Is it worth it? That's a choice that you are going to have to make for yourself. But in the meantime, let's learn how anyway. I did bring this file in from Creative Fabrica because I wanted to use just the basic flip-flop shape. We don't need any of this. We can right click and delete. I don't want these cut lines in the middle of it either, so I'm going to right click and release the compound path. We can move the basic shape away and delete all of this as well. Now, because we are not reselling the entire file, we can use this in the file that we are going to sell. By the time we're done, it's going to be a completely different file, so we won't be violating their terms of service. Now, this is going to be the top layer of our flip-flop, and we need to create the straps. So let's grab a rectangle and draw that out. It needs to be thin and kind of long. Now we're going to duplicate that because we do need two straps. The straps are going to go from here over to here and from here over to here. So we need to create holes for our straps to go through. Let's grab another rectangle, and this one is going to be even skinnier. We're going to set it at 0.5, and that'll give us enough wiggle room to make sure that these fit in through this hole. Let's switch the color up on this to black just so we can see it better once they are set in place. We're going to duplicate it twice because we do need 3 of them. Now, one of them is going to set right up at the top. We can put one here and one down over here. And once you have your placement just right, you can go ahead, select all of these pieces and make a compound path. But first we are going to right click and duplicate the base because we have to work with that some more. Now let's select these, right click, make a compound path, and move on to the next step. This is fine for the bottom piece of the flip-flop, but we need one for the middle. So again, we're going to select this and duplicate. And this time we are going to create an internal offset. You want the distance on this to be kind of thick. Select both pieces, right click, and make a compound path. Let's switch up the color on this piece just so we can see what we are doing. Now, this is our base. This is our middle piece. This is going to set right in here. These straps are going to go through these holes, and we are going to hot glue them to either side on the back. So we need to accommodate for the thickness of these straps, or else the bottom of our flip-flop is going to be lumpy. That's what this center piece does. So we'll have the base, we'll have the middle layer, and then this one will go on top, and our straps will fit in the holes. Now we have created an SVG file. The end product is super cute in my opinion. Let's go ahead and switch all of these over to black. And I like to have everything lined up when I'm selling my SVGs. You don't have to go through this step, but I feel like if it's visually appealing when the user brings it onto their design mat, they will be more likely to buy from you in the future. Now we have all of our pieces selected. Let's right click and group them together so that they are ready to scale to size when the user opens them up. If you want to scale this file up or down when you first bring it onto your mat, it is important that all of the pieces are scaled together, and that's why we want it grouped. I've also found that having the file at a decent size helps bring in repeat customers. You want it large enough to take up quite a bit of the mat, but you don't want it huge so that it looks overwhelming when it comes in. Now we have our file created and ready to save. Let's work on getting a folder ready to save it in. I'm going to open up my File Explorer and I'm going to go down to my portable hard drive. This is my external hard drive here. I'm going to go to the folder for my Etsy files and open that up. Now at the top you'll see you have a spot to create something new. We're going to click on this down arrow and we're going to select folder. We're going to create a new folder for our new flip-flop files. This will pop up and you can rename it. And we're going to say it's a 3D flip-flop and enter. Now that our file has a home, we can close this out. With our design selected, we can go up to File, down to Save Selection, Save to Hard Drive. I'm going to open up my Etsy file folder, and I'm going to open up my 3D flip-flop folder that we just created. We're going to name the file and save this as an SVG. Click on OK. Now let's pull this off to the side. Click on File and Merge. You can see that we are in the Etsy files. We are in the 3D flip-flop folder, and this is the design that we just saved. Let's double click on that and it will bring it onto our design mat. And you always want to check your files before you upload them to Etsy or Shopify or whatever site you're selling on. So let's go up to the send panel. All of the cut lines look perfect and that's exactly what we want. Now back to design. Let's go ahead and delete this and bring our original back on. With this selected, we're going to go up to File, down to Save Selection again, Save to Hard Drive, and it has already brought up our file folder. This is where we want to be. We're going to name it the same thing, but this time we are going to save it as a PNG. Click on OK. When you are saving as a PNG, you always want to save at 300 DPI. And you want to save it on a transparent background if it isn't a cut file. Now let's click on Save. Again, we're going to move our original off to the side. We're going to do File and Merge. And this time we're going to bring in the PNG file. Just double click. And it brings that onto the mat. And as long as the user has their auto trace on, this should be ready to cut as well. So let's go to Send, and you can see again all of the cut lines are good. We are ready to go with that one. Let's go back to Design, right click and delete this. You always want to work with your original file when you are saving. Now you also have the option to save as a Silhouette Studio file. However, you cannot sell Silhouette Studio files. So if you are putting your designs out for people to buy, you do not want to save as a Silhouette Studio file. You can get in trouble for that. You can save as a JPEG, a GSP, or a PDF. We don't really have any use for those as far as cut files go. So we are going to skip those, but we do want our buyers to be able to open up a DXF file because those files can be brought in with the basic edition as well. You're going to want to head over to Google or any search engine and type in SVG to DXF. I had it backwards, but the first listing that comes up is typically Cloud Convert. This is where you want to be. Go ahead and open that site up and you can see that I have been working with this file on the site just to make sure that it works. We are going to go ahead and click on Add More Files. There will be a button up here if you haven't been working in Cloud Convert before. and it'll say add from your computer or something along those lines. I can't remember exactly what it said, but the button will be up here if it's your first time using it. Mine is down here. So let's click on add more files, and I'm going to go ahead and bring in the SVG type. So double click on that, and it says convert to, and we can just type in DXF here and click on convert. Once it says finished, you want to click on the download button and it goes into your downloads. Now we can head back to Silhouette Studio. We're going to move our original off. Let's go to File. This time we're going to merge, and we want to look in our downloads for this. And it is right here, so let's double click, and it is brought in as a DXF file. If we go to the Send panel, you'll see that all of the cut lines are there, and that's exactly what we need. We can go to Design, and now let's open up our File Explorer, head to our downloads, and we are going to grab this file that we just saved, and we are going to just put it into our 3D flip-flop folder. Just drag and drop, and it will make a copy in the correct folder. Now let's open up our 3D flip-flop folder, and you can see we now have the SVG file, we have the transparent PNG file, and we have the DXF file, and this is ready to go. All that's left is uploading it to Etsy and creating a listing for it.